Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wrap up the week and to wrap it up nice and strong. Woohoo! Welcome back to Group Chat. We're going to send you into your Friday prepared, knowledgeable, with a couple laughs. And, we're going to educate you on the period.
Yes. I learned a lot.
Who do we got?
We got Karla and Sasha from Period.
So these ladies have a company. Well, you know what? I'll let them explain it. But the cool thing here is when you come on a show hosted by three dudes, and you have a company all around periods, obviously we needed some educating. So you guys are going to get educated by way of us getting educated.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, these ladies are doing a really amazing company, and we're excited to share it with you. And, of course, we're going to jump into all things news. I think the main topic is, Vlad is taking the stand. Ken Griffin on the stand. We're going to see if we get any real answers here from this whole Robinhood Citadel Congress chat.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not, right?
Yeah, Vlad.
Okay. We also get some insight. This is a very key episode. We get some insight into the portfolio of ya boy Pete.
Yeah, boy Pete portfolio breakdown.
Yeah. So we really do a deep dive and we really understand,
Bulls, Bears,
all of it.
In and out.
The in and out strategy.
This strategy is going to end up at in and out.
Just enough to afford a burger.
Would you like to make that animal style?
They pay great there.
We have to zoom out and
yeah, it's not bad.
That's good.
That and we got a couple more topics. We're going to go over everything you need to know, and then we're going to end on winners, losers, and content.
Let's go.
There we go. Let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. We have some special guests.
Very special guests.
Who do we got, D?
We got the founders of Period Co., Karla, Welch, and Sasha Markova. And I've just been extremely fascinated by this business. I mentioned it once last year on the podcast when they were launching, but I've been reading a lot about this space just because of what they're doing. It's insane on so many levels, everything from the laws to the opportunity to what they're doing. So I'm just excited to have them on here so we can discuss all of this. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to just dive right into it. Like, how did you guys, what are your backgrounds for the listeners that don't know? If you don't know who Karla Welch is and you're in fashion, then you're not paying attention. But I'd love to give people a background of both of your, work histories, because I think that's pretty fascinating in itself.
Sasha, you go first.
Well, I actually started out as a t-shirt maker, and I would turn people's stories into one line on a t-shirt. And
wow.
About 15 years ago, an advertising agency, the best creative advertising agency in the world at that point, saw the t-shirts and instantly offered me a job on the spot.
Wow.
I'm a creative director in advertising, and I worked for 10 years on turning Stella Artois into the most sophisticated beer in the world. And then I went to Impossible Foods and launched the Impossible Burger.
Wow, huge fan.
And then about a year and a half in, I thought, I don't know if I can keep talking about burgers. and so I started having a correspondence with Karla, who's a very old friend, about periods and changing the narrative of periods. And I'm really into how do we reconnect people back to nature. And for me, the story of the period has been the greatest separator, and the shame that people who period feel about perioding and, self-conscious about it. So it was a amazing thing to start, but also creatively an incredible challenge to shift perceptions of the period. And anyway, over to Karla.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Karla Welch. I'm, a celebrity stylist and work in fashion, and co-founder with Sasha of Period. It's called Period Company on Instagram. And yeah, it's been, Sasha and I actually met over a decade ago at a children's party, and we had a conversation, and then I received a present, and was one of Sasha's t-shirts, and it said "The Right Kind of Bitch," and that's, I think, and yeah, here we are with the Period Company, and it's so funny. It's as you can only imagine, we could tell the story of the period for the rest of civilization, or lack of civilization, humanity. And it's been such a, we've been working on it for a couple of years, but we're in the infancy of the brand, and it's kind of just, it blows my mind every single day. It's like, I feel like, I love fashion. I love my clients. I love that very exciting world, but this is like a very purpose-driven place to be, and it's exciting. So I'm so excited that we're here to talk to you guys about it. Because talking to men about periods, or people who don't period, is like a really important part of the conversation of how you can normalize a period and make real, true impact on the planet.
So for those that don't know, how would you explain the product? Because I when I first heard about it, I hadn't seen it, so I was trying to tell my wife, and then I butchered it, and then I finally found a picture and I showed it to her. But like, how would you explain it to somebody?
It's really simple. It's a pair of underwear that you bleed into, as opposed to every month going through countless pads or tampons that, it will horrify you when you find out the first pad a person who periods, starts in their early teens, generally, has never decomposed, and it will never decompose for the rest of their lives. So we, probably started our impact conversations based on reducing waste. And then we realized all the stuff we've been told our whole lives and how to unlearn that. But it's super simple. It's the most simple thing you do. You wake up in the morning, you put your underwear on, and you flow. And so the underwear catches the blood, and then when it's full, you change your underwear.
And you just rinse it out. It's very satisfying rinsing it out. You see all the blood. It's really enjoyable. We get letters about how a lot of people find it very therapeutic. And then you hang dry it, or even tumble.
Or you can throw it in your dryer. It's really easy. It's up to you.
And that's it. And then the next period comes, you wear the same underwear.
I would love to hear how Dee tried to explain that to his wife.
I actually don't want to hear it, because I'm sure he's like, there's something.
So it's underwear, right?
And how many days of bleeding is there in a typical period cycle?
Like 5.
5, and you could use the same underwear all 5 days after washing it? Or do you have to have multiple?
We recommend. So we, and I don't know if you gentlemen know this, but there's this thing called, not a thing, it's a huge state in the world of period poverty and period shame. And so a lot of people don't have access to products. So we wanted to make a product, as it's very, very affordable, so that we could get it in the hands of anybody who need it to have something, to have a safe period, and they couldn't afford. So when Sasha and I were testing everything, we did it as a luxury period product where you had 7 pairs and it was easy. You don't have to worry about washing them. But then we also went and did both of our periods several times by using just 3 pairs of underwear. So essentially you put it on, you rinse it, you hang it to dry, and you have your spare pair. You could actually get by with 2, but you'd have to wash it after using it, dry it, use the other pair, and then cycle through. So that would be someone who is in a lower economic bracket and has only access to, a small amount of things. Or you could have 10 pairs. I was talking to a client this morning who has 15 pairs.
Wow.
That is actually, you bring up something that just kind of made me think of third world countries and villages and women who are growing up in those communities. How were they even dealing with periods with no access to markets, no access to anything in these rural parts of the world?
Sasha, you want to take that one?
Yeah, they don't. It's horrific.
Yeah.
And then in a lot of cultures still, it's such a stigma to have your period. And so
what is that, by the way? Sorry because like I'll watch like a TV show or a movie, and when the young woman gets her first period, it's like they're shaming her. And I just never understood, because like consequently for a male, like they're giving high fives for the guy for jerking off, right? So it's like, it's like, it's like, how is that not like, I don't understand where that even came from.
Well, it came from religion, and it came from a desire to control women. And what you're looking at, if you take period, the idea of having a period, take that as a brand. You're dealing with a 2,000-3,000-year-old brand that has all been about shame. It's all been about if you bleed, you're somehow disgusting. It's all been about demonizing women.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's also been about the fear of the power that people who period have, is that they can create life. And your period is the gateway into that. So, we get these stories. Karla and I were just talking about it today. People who period are still so largely ashamed of it. Like if somebody leaks, it is a nightmare. And when they tell you the story of leaking, it's all about humiliation. It's all about fear that somebody's seen it. It's horrific.
Yeah.
And so what we have to do as the new brand of period, and we're very ambitious, in 50 years, we want our period to be the only period to kill that other idea of the period. Not even 50 years, 10 years.
10 years.
But we have to dismantle all of that way of thinking. And so we're dealing with, a mainstream period culture that says the idea of leaking into your underwear is horrific. For God's sake, don't leak into your underwear. So now we've got a product that's like, no, flow into your underwear, it's fine. We have to ask our consumers to come along on that journey with us and to do the thing that culture has always told them not to do. Do not bleed.
Wow. And I think the other really interesting thing, which I read in one of the articles when you guys got featured, that the average woman uses 12,000 tampons in her life. Is that right?
Yeah, it's billions and billions of pounds of waste on the planet. And it's just, and we're only using that because that's what you get told to use. So our, modus operandi is to be like, actually, so now this is what you're going to use. Hand them a pair of period underwear instead, and just change that. And also it's, on a really deeper level, and what Sasha said too, we laugh because we think we're Genesis and Eve taking that apple. That was the period. And that was the beginning of the witch and the shame and everything involved in that. But for us too, it's like you give every person, and we say, to be honest, we say people who period because people period. It's not always a woman, like a assigned woman, female at birth that has their period. So we use the terminology period, and moving forward, so will you. But, if you give every person who periods on the planet this product, you will change the trajectory of the planet. You'll reduce waste. You'll keep young people in school. The amount of confidence that improves is huge. And you're also, and a very interesting thing that Sasha and I just tapped into was, planet population stabilization. The more women really take care of their own periods, the less it balances the birth rate, because you have women who go through the workforce, are very satisfied with their own life, and you're not forcing tons of children, which a lot of people in developing nations, a lot of girls fall into that very, very early. People fall into that really, really early. So it's the biggest, we have the biggest map of all sorts of sequiturs ahead of us. But it's very interesting and fascinating. And in there, but what?
No, I totally understand what you're saying. The other thing I thought that was really interesting was there's a tax on items, or there's a lack of tax on items that are deemed a necessity, right? And somehow Viagra falls under that. Is that right?
Yeah, it's not taxed. It's called it's called a luxury tax, but legislators call it the tampon tax. And, there's an interesting thing going on right now because the Equal Rights Amendment hasn't still been ratified across all the states.
Mm-hmm.
And so the tampon tax is kind of for lobbyists and legislators right now. They're intertwined just to ratify it completely, but it's still taking a ton of states. So, like Utah, what are some other states that charge tax, Sasha? I think Arizona, all those southern states.
Yeah.
Like Arkansas, like a lot of places do.
And you guys don't charge tax because of that reason on your product, right?
Refund your tax. If you get charged tax because of that, we'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Wow. And are you guys like how does your product fall into that category? Because like Viagra is not a necessity by any means.
Yeah, but that's just a function of lobbyists and big pharma.
I understand, but like how do
it's a function of a patriarchal society as opposed to a matriarchal society?
I think it fundamentally just comes down to money, that they just have politicians in their
And the two words I just used, like that's all it is, right? There's a reason there's only a few women in the Senate still. It's all based on the society we live in that's been driven by like the patriarchy. And, you go to Japan, birth control only recently became legal. When Viagra came on the market in Japan, it passed government approval in 3 days. So
right.
That's not just about money. That's deeper than money.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think the problem is, and I think this is why it's great you guys are on here. There's so much education that needs to be done on this topic because we are fairly well-informed guys on most issues, and we are completely blind here. We're not aware of, when I read like the tax situation, just from a business standpoint, like why would Tampax want you guys to succeed if they're selling 12,000 tampons a year to their client? That's the best lifetime value, right?
Yeah, and you know what else they do, which is pretty shocking, is there's also an idea of a tampon has an expiration date. So all of these big chains that have tampons, they chuck out the tampons and they don't even give them to anybody. They chuck out the tampons as soon as they hit this expiration date, which is kind of weird because I've never heard of,
cotton expiring. But it's all about growth. It's such a big industry. And, the thing is as well that we look at it so much. It's such a necessity, the tampon or the pad, and they kind of count on that. So they don't really need to do anything because, they're like, well, periods are never going to go away. And here's these are the options. And for us, one of the big things we did when we first started is we looked at the journey. A tampon was invented in like 1931 or 32. It really hasn't innovated at all. That's crazy.
Compare a tampon to like a kettle. They do exactly the same time. Like the kettle's innovated. Now we're up to the slow pour. It's done all this stuff. It can keep its own temperature. A tampon hasn't done anything because they don't need to, because they just presume you'll need it. And there's no other option. So
wow.
There's progressive standards that other industries have had to come up against, burgers being one of them, Impossible Burger, Tampon hasn't had to have.
Yeah. Or they call it like, for the longest time, the FDA didn't regulate what went into a tampon. And then a few years ago, someone was like, we should look at the ingredients. And it's like, it's full of bleach. The cotton is bleached. It's like, this is half the planet. And you're not hearing about our insides. And so, there's been an industry of kind of what we call the posh period. Like it's an organic tampon, but it's the same thing. It's and it's not the most enjoyable way to bleed. Some women think the tampon is one of the greatest inventions. And sure, pretty smart. But for us, and this goes into our other pillar of storytelling, is the reconnection of nature and how everything in nature finds a way to flow. And our bodies are our nature. And so for us, it's just such a better way to period. And, you know, we don't think that our competitors, Tampax and Always and Procter & Gamble, aren't going to be interested in us. I actually think they need us, and that, you know, our goal would be to become one of their brands and build on a global scale, because, you know, we're small. We are in our infancy. We'll need a huge partner like that to become the global period brand and to change the way the planet periods.
Yeah. We're the electric car and they're GM.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we get.
Yeah,
That's a good comparison.
That is. And so if our listeners want to give it a try, is what do we have like an offer we can give them? You know, we're big on deals here.
Sure. We'll give you, use the code for Flow's sake.
Okay.
And
all spelled out?
Yeah.
Okay.
10% off.
And the site name, we haven't.
Period.co.
Period.co.
And also, you know, we're incredibly affordable. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting, and I'm interested to ask you guys this, because I know a lot of the brands you have are more male dominated. But as Sasha and I started Period, you know, we made a really conscious decision. It was going to be organic, it's sustainable, but that we're offering it at mass prices, because for us, we feel like you truly can't make impact if you're only, you know, for people who can afford a $50 pair of underwear, for example, which some of our competitors' prices hover around there. We had so many press people and just even women, mainly women, saying, you know, what's going to be your give back? What's your mission? And for us, we're like, we are the mission.
Yeah.
Us existing at $11 is the mission. Like, we don't have to give away hundreds of pairs. Our work is that it's so affordable that we can make impact. But I'm just so curious if, like, I don't see a ton of male founded brands being asked what their cornerstone of their mission is.
No, we're definitely not. They don't give a shit.
But let me just say though, that's not a male female thing. That part isn't. That is the give back, and the thing that started with Tom's and the buy one donate one just became a trend. And I think that what happened is anytime, you know, what's funny is they don't ask like Coca-Cola what their give back is, right?
Exactly.
But what's funny is they ask the people that actually have a strong mission, which is kind of counterintuitive, right? But I don't think, my honest opinion is, I don't think that that's male female. I think that's more a reflection of it became such a trend to buy one, donate one, that everyone's like, well, what's your press grabbing thing? I don't think you guys should worry about that personally. I think you are the. I also think it's just the press world. Like, they want to be like, and what's your angle?
Yeah.
They're like, what are you giving away? And it's like, to their point, we are the angle. We are the us existing is good for the world.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, we're living in a time where, you know, God, let's look at all that advertising that's happening right now about every brand has a purpose now. They didn't have a purpose a year and a half ago. Now they have to have a purpose. They have to be doing something meaningful. They have to. All these brands, the purpose is the afterthought. It's the icing on, you know, a pretty rotten cake. And with us, it's our DNA. We've grown through purpose, through very personal experiences of dealing with period. And, you know, we make a choice every day of, we could be making X amount of money on X thing or whatever. We don't want to do that. We want to change the way periods exist.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do. And so, you know, our mission is our company. It's not something we do on the side.
Yeah, it's Tesla. Tesla is the same thing.
Yeah, Elon's not giving away cars. And I think that in order to become a global brand like you want to, it takes money. You got to be profitable. You got to make money to do this. And that's something that I think it's easy to
not make money.
Exactly.
Like a real strategy of how we want Period to be $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Period.
100%. And that's
See what you did there.
I think it's easy for when people are thinking about like the angle or the press, it's easy. They're not worried about your bottom line, right? They're worried about what the angle is, and so I think that's a part.
I agree with you. Like, I even think Gen Zs are so, and in effect, actually Gen As will become very serious, devoted consumers, and as Sasha said, like, go for purpose-driven companies.
Yeah.
It and then hopefully we set a good example.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that part too much. I think you guys are doing more than enough. You're doing the right thing, and that will be the mission itself.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for the education too.
Yeah,
I know that probably talking to 3 dudes about periods, like, here we go again, but we appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for having us. And then we'll send you a code and whatever you guys want.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, we want to just educate our listener, and obviously all our female listeners, hook them up.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. Is your mouth feeling a little dry?
A little bit.
Maybe all that running.
Ooh,
You're tired.
yes,
You got to stay hydrated,
I do.
especially now the country's reopening. We're all going to be working out more. You got to have that vaccination bod.
I mean, that vaccination bot is right around the corner.
Yes. What does that mean? You got to be hydrated. And how do you get hydrated? With Liquid IV.
Yeah.
We all know they're popular for their hydration drink mix, their energy multipliers. People drink endless cups of coffee. Why not get straight to the point? Drink a very tasty mix of water and Liquid IV. Shake it with some ice. I do it right before a long run.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturdays when we meet up with people to run, right when I get home, I literally chug one and I am good. Otherwise, pre-Liquid IV, on Saturday afternoons, I used to take a power nap. And I mean power nap 2.5 hours.
Oh, Jesus. What a waste of a Sunday or Saturday.
I mean, I was so tired from running because I run with the stroller and it's like 5 miles.
Right.
It's exhausting.
Especially when it's hot out and you do get dehydrated so quickly. It's so hard to replenish.
Liquid IV was sharing with us that half of Americans report that they struggle with daily fatigue. That is insane. And so much of being tired is actually not being hydrated enough. I mean, I drink a lot of water, but even then, when you go and sweat like crazy, water's just not enough. So check out Liquid IV, use the code group chat, and get 25% off. liquidiv.com, 25% off when you use the code group chat. They have incredible flavors. They have incredible flavors. Matcha, ginger, high in antioxidants, helps improve mood and focus, especially for you trading.
Yeah.
In and out. You have to stay focused.
And I don't have time to grab those, the gym bros with the giant water bottles. I don't have time.
Oh, the meathead jug?
Yeah. Why? It's inefficient.
Yes.
I can use one of these little sticks 2 to 3 times a multiplier and hydration, and I'm set.
I love it.
Plus, a great tasting. They came out with a collab with Kygo.
Oh, yeah. I
It's
saw
pina
that.
colada. We have it over there. I'll get it to you after. It's really good.
I'm a huge Kygo fan.
Yes. So while you're listening to his mixes,
Trop House God.
yes.
Kygo's an investor. I see Kygo popping up in deals left and right.
Oh, probably makes $30 million a year.
Yeah, easily.
All right. liquidiv.com. Use code group chat for 25% off.
Bow, bow, bow.
All right. And here we go. You guys ready for some news?
Yeah, let's do it.
Crypto. You want to talk about crypto? I know you do.
Dogecoin.
Let's talk about a little Dogecoin. Number one, let's talk about the fact that good old Bitcoin is at like 52,000.
Bitcoin's at 52,000. Ethereum is nearing 2,000. And Robinhood apparently owns $2 billion of Doge.
Is that okay? So Elon came out saying, like, whoever the big whales are in Doge, I think that's the problem. Please sell. I'll buy it. Whatever. What's happening? The internet is like sniffing out that the owner of all this Dogecoin is freaking Vlad.
I mean, it is really odd that Robinhood, who, they're at the end of the day an equity trading platform that's started doing crypto, I don't know, 2 years ago or whatever. And, they have like the basics of crypto. They have like Bitcoin, Ethereum. I think they have like Bitcoin Classic or whatever it's called.
Bitcoin Cash, yeah.
Cash and whatever. They have like 5 cryptocurrencies. It's not like any of these other platforms like a Coinbase or a Kraken that have 500 coins. And then they randomly have Doge, which is the shit coin of all shit coins.
Hey.
It's a little fishy.
And of course, it's Vlad's company that quietly went and bought up Dogecoin.
What's the evidence? Is there any evidence? Or
They're tracing it back to wallets because you can't actually trace everything, and they think that it all is being held by Robinhood markets, and Robinhood markets obviously Robinhood, and the assumption is they bought all the Doge so they could sell it to their customers. I'll tell a funny story. I met with some people at Coinbase 2 years ago when Robinhood was starting to get into crypto. And when a question was asked, like, are you guys worried about Robinhood, fast growing platform? Are they going to compete? They actually laughed in the room. They're like, is that a serious question? Like, they're not even close to being equipped to handle cryptocurrency. And they were just like, they don't understand how much infrastructure, security is involved in crypto. Like, let them focus on stocks.
Well, what they did do is buy $2 billion of, they probably bought at $10 million of Dogecoin and flipped it back to their customer.
Because you had a terrible experience with crypto on Robinhood. You don't actually have a wallet.
No.
All you do is you buy Ethereum and then you sell it and convert it to USD. The whole point of crypto is to transfer it from wallet to wallet.
Yeah, I don't know what I have exactly.
Yeah, so
there's a number on my Robinhood, but what do I own?
Yeah, like I think what it could be is Robinhood, and this is what this whole thing is happening in Congress today is like order flow, that we actually aren't buying, the way the equity market works from a Robinhood. They had to sit and explain that what's really happening is that you buy 100 shares of Tesla. There are market makers out there that are selling you that stock. It's not actually going to the exchange.
Right.
It never hits the exchange like our trades.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be happening with the Dogecoin, where they're just like holding all the coins.
Because they know it's popular amongst their user base. Who buys Dogecoin? Robinhooders.
Yeah.
But is that like legal?
I think Robinhood has just figured out how to toe the line.
Fucking Vlad, man. I'm so sick of Vlad.
And if you think Congress, who is asking Mark Zuckerberg questions about the iPhone,
oh yeah,
do you think they're going to understand payment for order flow?
Yeah.
Our only shot was the All In podcast when they had Vlad sitting there,
and they blew it,
and they didn't care.
Yeah, I'd rather hear about, if you're going to just not give a shit about Vlad, I'd rather hear about Chamath's exercise routine.
Or just tell us where to vacation, what homes they have. Like that's
just act rich. I liked it when they were just a bunch of rich guys acting rich.
Yeah, they were like in quarantine, like one's in Italy, one's in Cabo.
Yeah,
like,
I prefer that.
Now being like fake social justice warriors, like we're not interested in that. And Vlad is, I watched Ken Griffin on there. Ken Griffin, just so you guys know, has been donating so much money to the Republican Party for so many years. And they obviously have protected private equity. Today, he's like, fuck, now the people I gave money to are not in power anymore. Yeah. And now it's Maxine Waters and
it's
Nancy Pelosi.
It's just a complete mismatch. Yeah. And this is why regulation in big tech, it's like, is it really going to come? These guys are so smart. Yep. Like, you're not pinning Sundar down, Zuck down, Vlad down, Ken Griffin. They can just talk circles around these guys.
Yep.
It's just an unfair fight.
That's why where they can always win is just tax. Tax it to the point where the business that.
But like you said, they donate all the political parties and control that there's no taxes.
Well, the problem is Ken Griffin donated to the wrong party.
Sure, but you think Facebook's not donating unlimited amounts to the Democratic Party right now?
This isn't a Facebook conversation. This is specifically about payment order flow and how the financial industry has taken advantage of the consumer.
You think there's going to be regulation?
I think in the financial sector. I'm
not saying there shouldn't be. Of course there should be.
You know why?
I'm just saying what's the reality of it actually happening.
Because the people want it. The people want it.
No, the people.
What's funny is like I feel like there's a gap between what the people want, because I'm not sure that they're totally sure, what's actually going on, which nobody really knows,
Nobody
and then what
knows.
Congress knows to ask.
Yes.
Like I think those are three totally different things.
Because the payment order flow thing, when Ken Griffin will explain it, he goes, we're just trying to get the customer the best possible price on the stock. Okay, then why the fuck are you in the middle?
Yeah.
If you weren't making money, you wouldn't be in the middle, bro. Like,
yeah, but
come
no one's
on.
gonna ask that.
Yeah,
they'd be like, huh.
I was literally sitting there. I'm like, then if that's all you're doing, and you're just like this amazing human being.
Yeah.
Because do you know what's
why are you doing it?
No, do you know what? No. What's happening in the background is there are now private meetings with Congress people, and Ken Griffin is going to go to them and say like, "Hey guys, if it weren't for Citadel and firms like us, the liquidity in the stock market will go to shit, and you're going to hurt average Americans, and the politicians will get scared and just back up." And they're just too smart.
I think you're right.
They can put on the dog and pony show in front of on TV, on C-SPAN and MSNBC and all these channels, but in private they go scare the living shit out of the politicians because they just understand the problem better and are able to convince them, and that's what is exactly going to happen.
Isn't the
I
only
don't
thing
believe
that
that.
isn't the only thing that really hit Congress's radar in a big way is that they stopped trading.
Yes.
Because this is what Ken Griffin...
That's when everyone said we need to look into this. AOC, Ted Cruz,
Yeah.
right? Like, do they even understand?
No, they don't, because Ken Griffin will go and close doors and scare the living Jesus out of these guys and say, if you stop payment for order flow, you stop all these things, then the teachers union's not going to be able to trade their stocks, and they'll just be able to craft a better story.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if some shady shit about his connection to Jeffrey Epstein pops up out of nowhere.
That'd be good.
Sure, but it'll be the next guy. Like that. Maybe I just have such little faith in. No, I mean, what?
Yeah, I think it's valid. We'll see what happens. Is it happening right now?
The hearings happened this morning.
And you guys don't even have highlights because it's like...
Yeah, it's just fresh. I watched the only part. I didn't get a chance to watch Vlad. I watched Ken Griffin.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude was nervous. He was not like...
Did they ask the right questions, though?
Yeah, I think they were asking just clarity on like... I think the whole idea today was about like information.
Yeah.
Like what is... They want to know... They want you tell the American people what's going on with payment order flow. Yeah. And so like, CNBC and all these people did a pretty good job about explaining it. So if you want to go watch it, you can kind of search some of those articles and they'll share with you how they're explaining it. It's just the problem is that they're not asking, like clear enough, explain like how do you make money and why do you do this? Like where's the opportunity here? And I think if people can understand the business model, if consumers are okay with it after that, fine, fuck it. No one cares. But the other interesting Piper Jaffray study that came out, so in December of 2019, retail traders made up 12% of the stock market. Retail traders.
Okay.
December 2020 was 23%. So that's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Here's where I think it lands is basically payment for order flow. The comp is basically privacy on Facebook and Instagram. Everyone is just accepted. We have no privacy. Take our data. We just love the service.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that the Robinhooders are going to do. They're going to stop caring. Just don't halt the buying of GameStop again, and we're good.
Or any stock.
Yeah, the product's too good. I mean, the problem is someone has to come up with a better product with a better business model, and the chances of that happening.
Yeah, but it's not even just Robinhood. We're just pinning Robinhood on this because all the brokerages did the same thing.
Yeah.
The idea of buying stocks is too addicting to the retail consumer. So I agree on that front. Like we're going to be forgiving. It's the same thing. Like people are addicted to social media. We don't care if you steal all our information, steal our wallets, steal.
Yeah, it's like it's a running joke among everyone. As soon as I talk about a product, I get an ad. Ha ha ha! Like no one's actually thinking about the implications.
It's the same thing. It's drinking alcohol.
I joke about it all the time.
Yeah, drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes. Consumers don't care at the end of the day.
And Vlad knows that. And Ken Griffin knows that.
Yeah, my thing is...
And then Maxine Waters and all these politicians have to put on a show to get the soundbite so they can run it for their political ads to get reelected. Moving on.
I'm not moving on yet. I do believe something will happen. And I think ultimately there will be a fall guy for this. My guess it's Vlad. Not
Like-
Robinhood, the company.
Like has to step down.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't think so.
I
think the way, like, all I needed to see was the way the all-in guys.
That's my
caved.
problem.
They're not. If those guys who came out swinging,
Yep.
go re-listen to how they originally talked
didn't
about
even listen to
Robinhood
the podcast.
and how they interviewed Vlad. If you convince 3 billionaires who have no financial interest in Robinhood to just shut up and trade.
It's true. Yeah, man. I think Vlad should step down. At this point, I don't think that'll happen.
I don't think.
I think
there's
it's
a chance.
blown over
The
with the people
investors
that would
love
hold
him.
The only
Ask
person
him-
not holding him accountable anymore is fucking, or the only person still holding him accountable is Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
He posted something like today and he just retweeted and wrote, fuck you. But we'll see, man. I cannot tell. I think that with all this stuff, with social media, with all of it, there's going to be some like random shots at like regulation and tax and like just from someone who doesn't really know how to do it. And like, it's probably going to hurt a little. They're going to learn how to get around it.
I'm not worried about like, I like don't think it's going to affect like a Ken Griffin. He'll just move on to whatever. You know, those guys are obviously very brilliant people. I just think there needs to be a fall guy for this case. It's just, and it's going to be Vlad.
But what do you mean?
What's
What's the fall?
Yeah, what?
No, I'm just saying he just has to be removed as CEO. That's it.
For
But
what
if the
though?
investors and the board have no interest in removing
The
him,
public will make him do it.
what do you mean the public? How is that going to happen?
Why not? People remove CEOs all the time for public
No, but they'll
perception.
have to take the board.
Yeah, and the board might just say, you know what? Fuck this guy too.
I don't know. They're about to IPO. They're in crisis mode. He's probably the only one that actually understands the business from like where the plumbing is. He had to go through this crisis.
He doesn't understand the business. He's a fucking clown. He
At
didn't
least
even
he
have
had
enough
to
money.
learn it.
He didn't even have enough money
I
to
will
run
bet-
the business.
I will
He's
bet-
one of the worst entrepreneurs I've ever seen.
You can make all those accusations and claims, but I guarantee you he will be the CEO in 12 months.
I think Anand's right. I don't
gonna go
want him to
against
be
that.
right. Yeah, it's okay. We'll do a little forecast here.
Yeah.
We'll revisit.
Yeah.
I want D to be right, but I think Anand is. I think all the people in the background, behind the scenes that we don't see, meaning Robinhood board, investors,
Of
whatever,
course.
think he's amazing.
I'm sure they're just going to be like, why? We can fix our public image and
No, because it's a
But they're like,
fast-growing
this
company
guy,
that
look at how this guy navigated.
bring the Indian guy back.
There used to be an Indian guy?
Yeah, he
co-founders.
quietly left. Such smart timing.
Oh, recently?
he left over the summer.
Yeah, perfect timing. He saw, whoa, what is Vlad
He saw
up to
those
here?
percentage of
because
retail trades
here's
going
the
up. I
thing.
was like, I don't want that.
I don't want that.
I mean, just what happened with Robinhood, they had to raise $3.5 billion of emergency capital.
Yeah.
The board and investors aren't going to trust a new guy that hasn't been in the business for years to deal with it. They're still fast growing.
They did it with Travis.
I agree.
There's still
Look,
going to be
yeah.
hiccups. But Travis actually made enemies with his own shareholders.
I think
It's
like,
very
yeah,
different.
I think the board didn't like Travis scared the board. Where I think this board likes Vlad, and they're like, "Fuck, man, you went through the ringer, but glad it was you, not us. Good
I think
job."
the Indian's the CEO in 12 months.
Okay, I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. But I think the really big story here that we glossed over is that increase in retail trading. And I'm curious what the number was in December 18, 17, 16.
yeah.
It has to be like, where does it peak out? Does retail trading in 2024 account for 40% of the stock market? Like, there's random like GameStops and like this shit is happening. It just changes the entire nature.
I'll tell you, I've gotten so many DMs from people who have yet to buy their first stock. So that retail number is going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
But I mean, we also have to think about post-pandemic world. Like, are kids, young people, gonna care about trading on Robinhood all day when they could just go to the beach and like go to?
No, I think they will, though.
I think it's the same as Zoom. It's like, yes, it will resume back to a little bit. It'll drop a little, but like you've changed people's understanding of what's available to them.
Because this makes you money. That's the difference. Is that like
I think once you transfer that first $100 into Robinhood,
you're addicted.
you're in.
You're in.
You know, you might not care as much once you're allowed to go outside, but you're not going to never do that again. You
Yeah.
now know.
Here's
I
the thing:
think.
is
I don't know.
I just think there's so much new money that's going to still enter the equity market over the next 5 years. So many people got their first lesson in the last year and saw what happened, and now it's like it's going to become a part of just your daily like lifestyle for a young person is going to be the stock market.
And the thing that'll change it is whenever the market corrects.
But here's the question is, if we put 20% more dollars into the stock market, does it not correct for 5-6 more years? I mean, if there's just new money entering the market, doesn't that just prop up the market even further?
Yeah, because all these new money, they're not shorting anything.
Because if you increase 20% more retail investors, that's new money. That's not market share just being moved around.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about it went up nearly 100%. And 12% of Wall Street daily trading is got to be tens of billions of dollars.
And think of all the old money that shifts out of like real estate and goes into the market to follow that momentum. I don't know. I don't know anything about this world, but that seems like a scenario where the stock market amount of people participating and amount of money in it is just through the roof in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah, I hear you. I hear the argument. It makes sense.
It just seems
to
like
an extent, but I think the house comes crashing down whenever the Fed decides to raise interest rates. And right now they've claimed till 2023. That's, like I was talking to someone yesterday, that's the surprise that could crush everything. So if in 10 months, 12 months, market's booming, countries open, jobs are back, and the Fed's like, hey, we need to
cool down
a little bit, that's the surprise to cause the crash. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying that's like the mechanism that
it just seems like what president wants that on their hands? Like who wants to take that?
Technically the Fed is independent of the president.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
But here's the difference. Biden's not Trump. Trump went on Twitter and bullied the Treasury Secretary, bullied the Fed. Don't touch interest rates. Don't touch interest rates.
But I mean, like how much, for instance, like how much say do you think the powers that be, like Trump just did, do you think they have in what the Fed does?
I'm sure they have influence. Absolutely. Of course.
Like, don't you think that it just feels to me like if everything continues on fire for the next 5 years and you get through the coronavirus pandemic and whatever, like who's going to want to stop the music?
So I guess the real
thing that could happen. True economics does not matter anymore. Everything that we learned.
But what does matter is if China starts playing the long game and doesn't buy our treasuries, start selling our treasuries. Like China, right now, China and U.S. are so codependent that if China, I'm sure they think 20 years out, they're going to at some point say like, let's crater the U.S. market.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like decades away though.
I just wonder if there is here's a question. Is there young people that would have thought about saving money to buy a house that now are saving money to put in their Robinhood account?
100%.
And is that if you looked at those numbers, is that a shockingly increasing number? That the amount of money that's going to go into. I mean, I would argue that there's people who, instead of going to the bar every night, are putting money into Robinhood.
Yeah.
Like there's a consciousness of investing. But I would say that like.
But at what point will the young Robinhood person realize that they're creating no wealth? So the way to actually make money in the stock market is put it in and don't trade it.
I think a lot are doing that. I think that's a misconception.
But Pete's a great example. This guy's in and out of companies every 3 days.
He'll find out when he gets his first capital gains tax.
Pete, how much are you actually moving around your money?
You don't need to give dollars. How often are you going from one company to the next?
Trading? Are you trading every day?
I hate that look on your face. God damn it. He literally is like we were talking to Bill Ackman.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell
I took $60 out of here and put $14 into Tesla. I put $8 in Doge.
God.
No, but how many times a week are you in and out?
Not that often right now. Probably in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've slowed down more.
Okay,
but before then,
every day are you making a trade?
No. I'm holding right now.
I'll give you an example.
Dogecoin and Tesla, holding.
On my Robinhood account,
yeah.
I have not done anything since December 1st.
Yeah.
Whatever I bought.
How many have you done since December 1st other than depositing money in?
I think I've been in and out of probably 25 to 30 companies.
Oh, God.
That's my point. And
Yes.
I mean, there's Chamath.
Pete's a microcosm of everything because like Pete, this is what's going to happen with young people. So he's in Doge and he's in Tesla right now.
Yeah.
Chamath's going to go on CNBC and pump Metro Mile. This guy's going to go buy Metro Mile.
Yeah, I'm dumping Doge.
Great, I have a lot of Metro Miles. Go pump it up. Go buy some.
I was in Metro Mile for a while.
There's also going to be that correction, which hasn't happened because that retail boom is, last 12 months, right? So when they look 2-3 years from now, they're like, I didn't make any money.
Yeah,
don't the majority of traders don't make any money?
Trading doesn't.
You don't make money trading in and out unless you
are
unless
it's high volumes.
Not even high volume. You just have to know what you're doing.
You're just
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
definitely-
beat the fucking S&P index fund.
No, mine's just, one day maybe I'll get rich off this, maybe I won't.
Well, that's the problem.
More than
that's
likely
called
not.
gambling.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because the average person is just the average young Robinhooders buying stock, seeing it go up 10%, selling it, go to the next stock, up, loses
Yeah.
10%.
But I
go
wonder,
back
so
and
look,
buy.
so we're guessing. I just wonder if you looked at because like Vlad, I don't trust a word that comes out of his mouth, but he claimed that a really small portion is actually that. I just wonder what
No,
the
he
stats
claimed
are.
a small portion gets wiped to zero. He danced around that question. Because what Friedberg was saying when he worked at a Forex company, 60% of accounts go to zero.
That was high leverage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Forex is crazy.
Okay, well, I don't know, but it just seems like there's a world here where the consciousness of investing and the ease of use will just mean significantly more cash into the stock market.
So here's a question that Congress could ask without understanding the plumbing of finance. Robinhood, we're subpoenaing every account of the last 12 months. Let's see how many accounts were plus money, see how many accounts were minus money.
Yeah.
Start there.
But they never do that. Why? They always ask Zuckerberg, like, do you have a program called Fuck Your Face? And he's like, well, I'll have to get back to you on that. And then that never comes.
No, it doesn't follow up.
Right? So they're going to be like, can we get that account info? He'll be like, well, I'll circle back with you. Yeah. And then you'll never see it.
Yeah, I think the
And if that number, to be fair, if that number is more than 50% positive, then go. Great.
then it's working.
And and if it's less than 50% in the hottest market in the history of the stock market, they should be shut down.
And then literally look in the month of January when GameStop, how many accounts went negative or got wiped.
I bet that is
That is
insane.
probably staggering. You
Yeah.
don't need to do the last 12 months. Do the last 30 days and said only the accounts that traded GameStop, what is happening to their account?
So, because I also want to make clear, you can have wealth creation for people that don't have access to Schwab accounts and stuff so much easier with Robinhood. The problem is what Robinhood gamifies is the antithesis of wealth creation, not buy and hold.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
They want you to be active.
Yeah, they give
Like,
you
you want-
fireworks
How do you stop
and
that?
stuff.
They do give you fucking fireworks.
Well,
Do you tax that differently? Do you just not allow it on those platforms?
Or you just,
it's education at the
It's
end of the day.
education.
But that's never going to work. You got to police it. Like you can educate people all day long on the type of food you should be eating, the cigarettes or no
The
cigarettes, but you
problem
have
is-
to just police it.
Yeah,
you have
the-
to just tax it.
The problem is, so taxing is one option, which they do. It's short-term capital gains. It's
which
Sure.
no one understands.
But that should be like short-term capital gains should be 80%.
yeah.
If in this scenario, I don't want it to be for the record. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
So I think
It's like I'm all for everyone having access to the markets. That's an unbelievable thing. But if you don't explain how to make wealth with access, that's also not good.
yeah.
But you can't legalize education, meaning like you can't say here is the bar for did you explain it well enough? Yes, no. It's impossible to police.
What if you forced, before you make your first Robinhood trade, to go through a 30-second tutorial and then a quiz?
But I think isn't that the
Stocks only go up.
whole? Yeah.
By the way, funny you say that. Bloomberg did a thing today. I took a picture of it. There were Wall Street Bets lingo guide, just so people know.
I saw that.
Diamond hands, refusal to sell a security. Paper hands, selling at first sign of loss.
I wonder if Nick Diamond took advantage of Diamond Hands.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If he didn't,
Stonks equals stocks. They only go up.
nice.
Tendies, chicken tenders,
Yeah,
profits.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
To the moon, belief a stock will gain significantly.
Oh my God.
Jay Powell, Chairman Powell, the Federal Reserve.
Were they like serious?
Is it serious?
No,
Like,
this
they
is all
explained
serious.
it like seriously,
Yes.
right? Like we need to tell you guys what's.
Yeah, YOLO, risking a significant portion of a portfolio
YOLO
on one
trades.
trade. You
Look at
only
me
I do
make
that all
one
day,
so
every day.
pumped. So this is like how you don't make money. I'll just tell you my quarantine experience and options. I lost everything every single time. And I feel like I'm probably more informed
Well,
than most
clearly you're not a good
customers.
trader then.
You're trading like
I got my.
options
I got my.
No, but I did the riskiest stuff for fun.
Yeah, so
but Pete,
my-
you're not trading options or like leverage or nothing, right?
I would be broke.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. My Robinhood account is gambling. That's what it's for, right? So they send you the tax forms, right? Okay, let's put it like this: the biggest boom ever in stock market history.
You got
I
creamed.
lost $18,000.
Yeah.
And that's just like having fun on your Robinhood. You
Yeah,
got
because by the way, if it was 5 years ago and it was football, I probably lost $100,000.
That's
So
true.
18 is
much cheaper hobby. But
Yep.
that's my point.
Yeah.
So I can't trade an option positively if my life depended on it.
It's
Yeah.
all options. I looked at all my trades, zeroed out options.
I was hot in March when I predicted everything to crash, and then even when I went long, I was wrong on everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see, man. I'm real curious what comes out of this, but I think it's going to be a whole lot of nothing.
So you guys think I should start trading options?
Yeah. I think you should go all in on
Tendies,
Yeah, look
baby.
into how much you can leverage.
Tendies.
Get a couple YOLO trades, just go for it.
That's all your trades,
Yeah, pretty
except
much.
for Tesla. That's
Yeah, it's a safe bet. That's the only one that's making
But like,
real
if
money.
Pete, for example, holds his Tesla for 10 years,
It'll be worth more.
he would be able to buy a house.
So
Yeah.
That's the plan there, champ.
no, you'll be in and out of that
Here's the
thing
thing.
5,000 times by
I'll
then.
give you an example. I have a Yahoo Finance account
Sure.
that I've had since I was like 18 years old. I logged into it the other day because they asked me for my password. I'm like, oh, I'll go log in and see what happens. There was, I had all my actual portfolios from fucking 10 years ago in there. And I remember literally during the last crash, before the last crash, like 10, 12 years ago, I bought a stock called Connexent. Okay. And it was at $2.50, I think. And I bought 4,000 shares, 10 grand. I ended up selling it in whatever account I had it. It is worth $260,000 today. Okay. I don't have it anymore. But my point being is like, it was obviously clearly a good company. I had it. I just let it sit and did nothing and I could have made way more money than losing 17 grand
Yeah.
gambling last
I mean,
year.
that's effectively, I learned that lesson because I knew trading is stupid with crypto. I just bought and held.
Yeah.
Had I traded in and out, I would have gotten smoked.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's even scarier.
I tried that
People-
one time and I just got smoked. Like the last dip of Bitcoin, I'm like, let me just try. Let me just sell a bunch, buy it back at the beginning. And I literally sold at the bottom, bought on the top.
Buy high, sell low. I'm a
Holy
buy high,
cow.
sell low guy.
Every time
my
I hate the little charts on Robinhood. They're scary. The second they start going down, I start panicking. And that's
You
when
gotta
I
just turn
go.
it off.
Yeah.
I got paper hands.
You should literally make some investments and delete the app.
Yes.
Okay,
That's why I stopped trading.
we got to move on. What about you? You interested in investing in SpaceX by any chance?
With $6. Yes.
Well, listen, they just did their last round at 74 billion. But
Sounds cheap.
throw in your $6 and we're off to the races here.
We got hit up because a friend of ours was offering a private placement on it. And I remember it was $30 billion last year. And I lolled. I was like,
Yep.
what the fuck is SpaceX worth $30 billion for?
Yeah,
I mean, Sequoia's in this round and it's at 75 billion.
we're going to Mars. We're literally going to the moon.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's the temperature on Mars?
Who cares? We
think
got
it's
codes.
It doesn't even matter what SpaceX numbers are. It actually doesn't matter.
Well, yeah,
Because
Virgin Galactic, which
and
is 10
this
billion.
Yeah, this is Elon though.
Yeah.
If he
The
can
goat.
will Dogecoin to even exist in its current state right now, I mean, SpaceX is probably a 10x from here.
Trillion.
Yeah.
We screwed up. Should have done that private placement.
Yep.
You got to start telling me what you pass on.
Yeah, because you guys suck.
I'll invest in
What
that.
What else?
Well,
did
don't talk to An, and An is hot.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's at 50,000. Freaking Coupang. Coupon.
Could have been a
Coinbase is
Celsius
going
guy
public,
too.
Anand's out here. We can share. Anand got his second vaccination. Didn't even get the flu. Anand is the most on fire friend we have.
The
Keep this
fact that
guy
you didn't get sick on the second vaccination.
Yeah, why don't we just talk about that? That could be the next topic.
Coinbase is going public.
Yeah.
This freaking guy.
Like, we won't-
Vaccination and an IPO.
He's gonna start zooming in every episode. He's gonna be in the Bahamas.
From the PJ, man. It's going to look like one of the
everything's
all-in
indoors
guys.
from now on. Everything's indoors.
All indoor hangs.
So I quick the second vaccine.
You can come hang out with my buddies this weekend. We all sit
yeah,
inside
I'm
all
going
day.
with the
He's like, what? I've been doing that the whole time. Been doing that the whole year.
So I got my second vaccine yesterday. Super seamless. Took 10 minutes. You wait your 20 minutes. They actually force you to wait this time. The first time they actually didn't.
Because I need that EpiPen.
Yeah,
You
they're
know?
like, no, it's funny. They said it's all drive through. They said if you can't breathe and you start breathing, start honking the horn. Oh my God.
Imagine the scene of like, Hong Kong, we got another one. We're also in the Camry. It's the Camry.
There's like 6 cars going
Said
on.
it so casually. I was just like, okay, I guess I'll honk if
Oh my
I stop
God.
breathing. So, anyways, people
So you
say,
just wait 20 minutes, then you drive off?
yeah. What if you stop breathing on the freeway? That,
Start honking.
that also came through my head. I'm driving on the
I know.
110. I was like,
Were you alone?
yeah, I was alone.
That would have been sketched.
And so I guess a lot of people get sick within 6 to 8 hours of the shot. I was prepping to get sick last night.
Yeah.
So I just was like,
Cancel plans.
yeah, just, okay, chill out. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I just got through it.
You're hot, man.
That's great.
You knew about the coupon IPO.
Yeah, ride that wave.
This guy's hot.
Yeah, I was prepping because we were taking Matt to a class today. I was like, Amanda, you're gonna have to do it. And then I
Yeah.
woke up and I was like, I literally woke up like, wait.
Like that
Nothing
feeling
happens.
when you're like, wait a minute, how do I?
And I was like, all right, I'll take him to class.
Good
I'm
for
fine.
you, man. You're Superman. So now you are 95%.
In 6 days, technically.
Fuck.
6 days.
I'm still fully exposed.
6 days post second dose, you have 95%
I
immunity.
think the Rona's over.
I think it is.
I haven't heard anyone get it
Rona
yet.
bent over.
I think it is.
We need to open up the floodgates.
I think they need to open up in LA particularly more because
Open it
you're
up.
seeing this increase of crime. Obviously, Samurai Nights.
Tell me about it.
Samurai Nights.
Samurai
Yeah.
Nights over here.
Jeez.
But immediately when, I mean, I don't know if you saw that video of what happened on Melrose of the
No.
guy getting jumped for his Rolex.
No.
That's like a thing apparently. On Melrose, they're targeting people that they see with Rolexes and just like robbing them on foot.
Like literally just jump
I
on
think-
them, grab it, and go.
I think that was the move with me, and all I have is this whoop strap, and
Yeah,
my
they're like,
boy was like, "All right, well,
Whoop-dee.
see you later."
But yeah, I mean, I think once things open up, those things won't happen also, right? Like
Yeah.
if streets are crowded, you're not going to be committing these petty crimes.
Yeah.
Like we just need to like expedite the opening. Look, healthy people will choose to live the life they want to live, and people who are at risk.
Yeah.
I think at this point, if
year
you're an
in?
at-risk individual, you're fully comfortable with continuing to quarantine.
Or
And-
if you haven't gotten the vaccine, means you're not trying.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I fucked up. You know, I haven't looked into it. Listen, let's talk about this. Good old Walmart. We started the episode with some people doing the right thing. We're going to end the episode with some people doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Of course, stick around because we have winners losers content. But Walmart is promising raises for 425,000 workers after a strong holiday season.
Nice. That's amazing. Good work.
Great for Walmart.
Walmart does, you know,
America's company, you know? I don't hear
Walmart-
about Amazon doing that.
Walmart got a lot of shit in the 90s and the 2000s because of just their practices. They've really turned it around.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're
You
just,
guys, it's important, man.
I think they really have done right by their employees. And, you know, people who do work at Walmart, I do fucking love it. Like not just at retail, but
Yeah.
at corporate. Like they just have built like a really great company culture. I mean, I'm sure there are people that are complaining. That's at any company, but fuck.
Yeah, I don't know what Amazon actually does, and I'm not actually talking shit, but you just do see a lot of press. And I don't know whether that's just, you know, that's gained momentum or whatever, but I think it's so important when you're one of these big companies, like to control that narrative and how you treat your people.
I mean, Walmart and Amazon must be the two largest employers in America.
You'd
Like,
think
I
so.
can't-
Yeah, you outside the government, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good for them. They did the right thing.
Yeah, and especially because like they raised wages in a lot of states where the minimum wage is still significantly lower, and I think that a lot of companies take advantage of that because like you can go look in like Georgia and still like I don't know what it is there, but I saw something the other day. It was shockingly low.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I
Winners,
also
losers,
have been
content.
in and out of Walmart about 7 times.
That's a company you should buy,
Yeah.
and never
Oh,
ever sell.
I know. I
Do
got
you know
anxious
that?
with other ones.
You don't
I had
know
to
that.
pull
What's
out.
the plan?
No. Well, I had no plan originally.
But you're hoping to make $10?
At this point, yes, I made about $10.
Okay.
But you understand
Yes,
when you
yes,
get
yes,
you
yes,
pay
yes,
50% on
I
taxes.
did not know that right away until Josh was like, there's tax on this stuff, right? I was like, what?
Or whatever, not for you
Yeah.
or whatever your income.
Right. But still.
Yeah.
Why don't you should just put all your money in fucking Dogecoin and just cross your fingers and delete your account.
I actually like that idea.
You might as well.
I mean, you're all in and on it anyways. You're a meme as far as the person is concerned. So you might as well fucking go all in on a meme crypto. And
I mean, I am pretty much besides Tesla, I'm all in. It's like half mine.
But take it out of Tesla. You're going to go in and out at all the wrong times. You're going to pay full income tax
I'm
on
sitting
it all.
on Tesla,
Yeah.
man. I got it in at a good price.
What'd you get it at?
price.
$480.
wow, that is a good price.
What's it at now?
$784.
Whoa.
That's
Some call me
post-split,
the,
though?
you know,
what do they call you?
new age Davy Day trader.
New age.
He is the new age.
It is a new age.
The new.
Okay. I got to bounce in 4 minutes. Should we rifle through winners, losers content?
Yeah,
real quick?
let's go.
Okay. All right. Time for winners, losers content. D, who's your winner of the last week?
My winner of the week is a interesting charity out of North Hollywood that built micro homes for homeless people. It is called Tiny Homes, Tiny Home Community. It's on Chandler Street. It's called Tiny Home Village. And they built 40 homes, 75 beds, 64 square feet each unit.
That's cool.
Heating, air conditioning, 2 beds, a window, a small desk, and a lock for the front door. And this happened in North Hollywood. This is actually a real solution
Yeah.
for the homeless problem. It's such an incredible place. Homeless people can use that as a springboard to go get a job, get their life together, and they're providing mental health resources. I mean, this is like this is a check from Mackenzie Bezos, and you could do this all over the fucking country
Yeah.
and solve a lot of problems. So check it out. It's incredible. Hope of the Valley is the name of the organization that's funding it, and a LA City Councilman kind of helped push it, Paul Krikorian. So dope.
Very dope.
great.
Okay. That's a good one. Anand, who's your winner?
So the winner's on the heels of a really tragic story, which is obviously Texas and the weather storm and the power outages across the state, and people are really struggling, and a lot of people are without water and power, and it's devastating. But the winner is Ted Cruz. He fled to Cancun. This guy's
I
like,
saw that.
He's my
When-
loser.
when trouble comes, you leave to Cancun.
He got called back.
to Cancun. You know what I love is like, motherfucker.
Go to Arizona
You
or go
literally
to DC. You could pretend like you're doing some
anywhere.
politics.
Go to Florida. Because you're meeting with Marco Rubio or something.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to go to literally like spring break,
Right.
like the most opposite of your frozen state. Like, I'm in Cancun
I mean,
sipping pina coladas.
he got called back. I'm sure Mitch McConnell called him and said, "You dumb motherfucker, get your ass back here, lying Ted Cruz."
Lion Ted Cruz.
It's so stupid.
He's such an idiot.
It's so disrespectful. I mean,
It's so disrespectful, but the sad part is I guarantee if Ted Cruz ran for re-election in
Oh, yeah,
Texas,
he'd win by a
win
long.
right away.
we love him. Love
Okay.
Ted.
I agree. All right. Okay. My winner is a little obscure. My winner is all of us. This may not be true for everyone, but I just want to point out how nice it's been not hearing the daily chaos of politics.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
You know, and it's like I'm just saying when you notice you don't have these crazy tweets and this crazy the world is ending every day. I don't know what Joe and Kamala are up to. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
Fingers
But
crossed.
man, it's just so nice to not have that concern on our brains.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And that dominated the news for 5 years. Nothing but Trump for 5 years. You never heard about other things. There was not that I want there to be, but there was no longer mass shootings.
Yeah.
There was no longer good news. There was no longer nothing.
Yeah.
It was just Trump, Trump, Trump.
Now it's just Vlad.
I'm down for that. At least it's exciting. At least we can debate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, I wonder how Trump's mental state was able to stay together. Like even so many
Who said
people
it
talk
did?
about.
What evidence shows that
No, but I mean, I don't know how this guy didn't have a massive
Well,
outburst or
supposedly he did.
explosion, but
Supposedly he got carted off to the hospital secretly. Anyway, that's my winner. It was obscure, but I feel a little bit lighter.
Okay, I like it.
What about loser?
My loser is it was Ted.
Lion Ted.
Yeah, Ted Cruz, and I think the interesting thing, if you guys follow that story, is Ted Cruz when California was having outages last year. He was pounding how incompetent the state of California is, and a lot of people in the last year have said California is a disaster
Yeah.
and that everyone's going to leave. And then, unfortunately, a lot of people went to Texas. And now, there's one. Here's the reality of life. Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, I don't want to make the joke because people are actually like hurting and stuff, but and dying and like it's really tragic. But
Yeah.
like
It's Ted Cruz to me is the karma that it came for. Like not Texans. Texans just got.
No, and I'm saying that it's like, look, I think California has done a bad job, but I think the main thing was like, I'm getting out of here. California doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And then like some shit hits and like your guys.
Yeah,
they
and
don't know
like,
what the fuck they're
dude,
doing.
all these people don't have fucking power.
Yeah, it's bad.
They don't have clean water. There's a water shortage in Texas. It's one of the biggest states in our country,
Yeah.
and they don't fucking clean water.
I talked to a young lady on the phone today. I had a conference call and she was in Austin and she was staying at her sister's and she had to go like wait 3 hours in the snow just to get groceries. Like it's really bad. They had
Yeah.
power at her sister's, but it's just like, wow, it really is like.
And this guy's on a plane to Cancun to go to spring
Cancun.
break?
Ugh.
Is this guy a joke?
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, he is a joke.
You
He is
seen
a
him?
joke, yeah.
You see his new haircut?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
On it,
Joke.
who's your loser?
My loser's Meek Mill. So
Yeah.
Meek Mill has an untitled track, and apparently a snippet got released of a line he has, and the line is, "And if I ever lack, I'm going out with my choppa. It be another Kobe."
Yep.
How tone deaf do you have to be if you're Meek Mill and have that line? It's just insane.
Yeah.
And he's getting roasted for it.
He
And
has some
he's a-
judgment problems.
Yeah, he makes a lot of bad judgment.
He does.
Yeah. I mean, first, like, why did you go off on Drake? You were having
that
the
was
best
just
career.
stupid.
Like, shut up.
I mean, talk about bad judgment.
That's the worst judgment.
Sometimes you just gotta
Yeah,
shut
man.
up and rap.
It's just, what are you doing? Like, in what world? I get it. Like, be controversial and you're a rapper. But in what world does that seem like a good plan?
Yeah, it's like even from a just pop culture perspective, in the last 12 months, is there anyone more glorified than Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, what are you doing? Yep. Okay. Bad judgment.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is similar to Ted Cruz. Texas Mayor Tim Boyd. Tim Boyd.
Where is he, in Cabo?
He he's actually at home because he resigned. Because he essentially, when all this happened, came out and I'm going to paraphrase, said, "Only the strong survive.
Oh, my God.
Don't look to me to help. Some are going to die.
Oh my God.
This is where we separate the weak from the survivors. So up to you guys."
That's a fucking joke.
Insane. When you read what this guy said, it is insane. So he resigned. He's an idiot. And there you go.
Wow.
That's my loser.
What a jackass.
What's your content recommendation, D?
Mine is I started watching. It's crazy that I'd never seen this movie because I'd see it on planes all the time, but I never did. Is the hockey movie Miracle?
I've never
For
seen
the
that.
1980 Olympics?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I've never seen that.
So good.
Okay. I trust you on that one.
I just and the way they were talking, it just thought of like 17 Pete's on the team.
Yeah.
Just kind of like hockey roughnecks
Yeah.
Yep.
from Minnesota and Wisconsin.
It was the middle of the Cold War. There was a lot of significance.
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
Okay. Did you also see your boy Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson said he would consider a presidential run
He did, huh?
if the people want it?
He's the people's champ.
On it.
It's a podcast. Andreessen Horowitz released a 3-hour Clubhouse that Ben Horowitz and Mark Andreessen did a one-on-one
3 hours.
interviews.
Sheesh. The only people more dedicated than I am. Ben and Mark.
And
Or at least they own it.
Yeah, true. True.
I'm an hour in, and it sounded like they were only going to go an hour because Mark at the hour mark was like, "Ben, do you have a few more minutes for some questions?"
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
there's
us
2
every
more.
Tuesday, Thursday.
And the first hour is awesome. I'd assume the next 2 hours are great. So
That's good.
Tom's recommending the Titanic.
That's a worthy
You
assumption.
get the next 16 hours, a great podcast.
That's what I'm curious to see too, though. Is like you could really cross-platform. Like someone could just do a Clubhouse show.
And then
That-
just release it on pod.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that'll happen.
Mine is there's a new Biggie documentary coming out on Netflix called
yeah.
"I Got a Story to Tell," coming out in March. But the trailer, everyone should watch the trailer. It looks incredible.
Wow.
I mean, I would say Biggie, Tupac is probably like the most content that exists in the genre of hip hop. Like, how many documentaries can you do? How many series? How many whatever? This one looks pretty damn good, man. Everyone should check out the trailer and see what you think.
I'm all in.
Not to mention, there is a Tekashi 69 Showtime show coming out
Oh my God.
on the 21st, I think.
That sounds terrible.
I got to be
People's
honest.
champ.
I'm looking forward to it. Not that I don't support snitching.
Okay.
You
But,
see, he tried to call out Meek Mill the other day,
Yeah, ran up on him.
and he was like, "You're with cops." He's like,
Hey, for
You're
the
the snitcher.
Kobe Bryant line, I'm going to go ahead and say I was Team Tekashi there.
"Whoa,
Okay.
I said what I said,
very controversial person in the back."
but not in general. Okay, so don't come for me.
All right, so we'll get into shout outs. All right, we got one from Nathaniel, big fan of the podcast. And he just wanted to give a shout out to never thought that he would be interested in business, but after a year of listening to all of us, it has intrigued me. He services pools and he listens to podcasts 5+ hours a day. And now he's even on Clubhouse. He's Clubhouse, and he's excited about just learning. This is like what I'm fucking talking about. And he, huge fan of Chris, aka Drama. He grew up watching Robin Big, and so happy to see how successful Drama is. Because let's be honest, he did whatever it took to be Rob's assistant back in the day, and it's all paid off. And he has a question. The question he has is, do you guys truly believe someone can be successful without a degree these days?
Hell yeah.
Okay, he answered his own question. So we all went to college, and we went to quote unquote a good college. There was nobody at that school that was smarter than me that I was learning from. Okay? Like when I would sit in school and listen to these motherfuckers talk about marketing or
You mean the professors?
Yes.
Okay.
Not the students. Students, there were plenty of kids smarter. Professors.
Yeah.
I never sat there and was like learning something that blew my mind. And there was some professors that inspired me, and I think that is something that you can get elsewhere today.
Right.
You're on Clubhouse. For example, you're listening to this podcast. Another example. 2 avenues where you get access to information we never got in college. Like we just didn't even know this shit existed. You're learning about finance.
Yeah.
And you get to listen to Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz talk.
Yeah, it's insane.
Even a year ago,
level
you
access.
couldn't have done that.
I always said, like 7-8 years ago, if you just listened and watched Charlie Rose every day before he got canceled, you'd learn more than any college degree.
Yeah.
And I think it's never been truer with podcasts. You can learn more if you spent 5 days actually listening to educational podcasts in whatever industry you're into.
I'll give you an example. Happened to me in December of the holidays. I wanted to understand Ethereum.
Yeah.
And I wanted to understand DeFi. I went and listened to 10 podcasts about Ethereum and DeFi, and I understood it. I was like, holy shit. And and by the way, none of these podcasts were like big.
No.
They're just like random people that I just like stumbled on. They have 5 ratings, but they broke it down so well.
Yeah, I mean, even 7-8 years ago, you can pull up interviews from Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz explaining why cryptocurrency was going to matter.
Yeah.
And they're still talking about it. And they're talking about how we haven't even had our iPhone moment when it comes to cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
This is all public information.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So like your answer to your question, Nathaniel, to being successful, no, you do not need an undergraduate college degree.
No.
If you want to run Google, you might have to.
Right. But if you want to find success, you have to surround yourself with high quality people. I think that gives a direct reflection on if you're surrounded by nobody, you really go nowhere. You need connections. You need a network to build.
But we live in a digital world where you could be digitally surrounded by the right people. Because I also don't think if you just so happen to be born in some small town and that energy doesn't exist in your town, I don't necessarily think that should preclude you from being successful. You can make friends online and have the same kind of support system that like I have in LA, being an entrepreneur and having like-minded people like me. Today, you can have those friends on groups, group chats or Slack channels or podcasts or whatever, Clubhouse rooms. So you can go build your own kind of network on your own.
Yeah.
So,
but that's the thing is you have to, if you're around small-minded people and people that are going to bring you down or don't understand what you're trying to work towards, you got to get out of this.
Anti-Dozers.
Anti-Dozers, fuck them.
Yeah. Where's Satoshi?
I have him right here. Coming from Jean-Francois Sobero's new best friend. He's shouting out from California, but sometimes France. He goes, "Hey gang, hope you guys are having a magnificent day so far. Pick this moniker for today's shout out, number 20, to recognize our new friend Jean-Francois. As the French would say, bienvenue dans la famille group chat." Is this guy fucking really French? I took French in college too.
Google that, bro.
I know, that's also true.
I'm shocked that you could say Jean-Francois' name.
Jean-Francois? I took
I know,
two
makes
semesters.
sense.
Yeah,
2 semesters.
Oui, oui.
Yeah, I mean,
I got like very
last
minimal.
week he was Gene Francis. Who's Gene Francis
These
coming on?
Francois. I know that Tim's illiteracy probably got in the way of conveying that message. Luckily for Tim, he didn't have to read it today. So I'll save the time and translate myself according to Google. Damn it. It means welcome to the group chat family. This guy did Google it.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to send me a watch, but if you do, that would be nice. We don't even know who this guy is, so that's impossible. The group chat team gives away Clubhouse invites while the guests give away $5,000 timepieces. Now
They
on to
don't
win-
make a $5,000
No,
watch.
the average watch is 22 grand.
Yeah.
Did Satoshi not listen to the interview?
I don't know. Guess we'll find out next week.
This was a weak one, Satoshi.
Okay. Maybe it's just my reading it. And
Yeah,
not
I think
Tim's.
you reading it is also.
I'm just
you kinda
not-
struggling with reading.
Yeah, well,
And
it's
you're
just,
giving commentary.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
read it.
Sorry.
You're ruining his magic.
Now on to Winners Losers content.
Jean-Francois' friend.
Francois' friend. Now on to Winners Losers content. My winner of the week is On It for obvious reasons. You now have the money to go get an oversized watch to match your oversized cap. My loser of the week is D. On It is out here making prediction after prediction, getting his bread up, and is early on trends left and right, while D wastes his time trying to do good and make an honest living. I feel like every week I learn about a new opportunity that D has just happened to pass on. It's always something like Travis Kalanick approached me at Uber's first investor while encouraged me to buy a lot of Bitcoin, but I didn't feel like doing it. Or a friend of mine from USC offered me a PSA 10 first edition Charizard card for my birthday, but I turned it down because cards are stupid. Listen to your brother so all of my co-hosts could get this Howard Stern money in 2021. My content suggestion isn't specifically one piece of content, but rather look out for new music from Bobby Shmurda since he's finally being released from prison in less than a week. Much love and have a nice weekend. Did this guy just give a shout out to Bobby Shmurda after saying he sometimes lives in France and he's Jean-Francois' new friend? Who the fuck is this guy?
Oh my God.
Jesus,
All right.
I am drained.
Great way to end it. Great week of guests.
Oui.
And we got another week of fire guests coming too.
Also, Mr. Jean-Francois emailed me today and he said he's sending us a nice little gift.
Ooh.
He didn't disclose what the little gift was, but I gave him our address and we'll see what he sends.
One watch, everyone share.
Yeah, everybody.
I each get a couple days.
I did it Saturday.
You guys really hit it off.
Yeah, he loved me. He was great.
Yeah. All right, guys. We will sail you into the weekend now.
Adios.
Ciao.
Peace.